I'm just going to go through what I'm expecting to happen with Bitcoin and other cryptos at the moment. My whole watch list has pretty much been cleaned out now, so that's the whole point of having a watch list. All these ones that were hyped. That's if people are talking about a cryptocurrency, you can be pretty sure that that's the worst time to buy it. So the purpose of having a watch list is so that you can follow these coins that look really good, but they've been overbought. So the point of these videos is to show how to manage your watch list, and it's not about predicting anything. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about saying whether you've got a high probability or not of having a good entry. Right? So what we can say with charts, Ichimoku on the left here, the Ichimoku chart is literally, I believe it literally translates to equilibrium at a glance, which means that the baseline, the Kijinsen here, is showing you the equilibrium, right? So it's very simple to understand once you get the idea of it. And some people only use this baseline Kijinsen, they get rid of all the other parts of it because this is the main thing we want to look at, because price, it's telling you that price is overbought or oversold. It's overbought. There's a good chance it's going to swing down and become oversold. So what we're saying is, if you were to buy a Bitcoin down here, you got a much better chance of making money on the trade than what you have buying it up here. So at the moment we can see that this is fair to say that this can come back to at least back to this support here, and then we say once it gets that support, then we see what happens next. But see a lot of these popular channels, they're just telling people what they want to hear. They're not really. They say, oh, when it's going up, they're all about the charts. When it's going down, they say, like BitBoy, as soon as it turns, he's saying, forget about the charts. Don't worry about the charts. The charts, the charts. He's got the charts. Forget the charts. And of course, that's because people don't want to be told it's going to go down. He's saying, just buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And that's what people want to hear. That's why he's the most popular channel on YouTube, because he just tells people what they want to hear. And he's very good at spinning stuff. But having said that, though, it's very entertaining, and that's what most people are just looking for, entertainment. So that's fair enough. This here, Bitcoin here, is now oversold, and it's now swinging, overbought rather. It was overbought here. That was a false breakout, and the flat Kijinsen here tells you that this is a long-term consolidation. So this has got to work through. This is actually a good thing for the long term, to put in a long-term consolidation like that. When it breaks out of that, that's when you can get those parabolic moves easily up to 100,000, but we don't know when that's going to happen. It's no use saying it's going to happen. It's no use saying it's going to happen by this date, because you just don't know, because there's no way to say what sentiment is going to do. So, and that's all we're looking at with charts. We're looking at sentiment, and you can't look at that with anything else except for charts, because it's not about predicting where it's going to be in 12 months' time. That's nothing to do with it. That's not why we use charts. But as you can see here, we had a high probability when the MACD crossed above the zero line here, the baseline or whatever it's called, the histogram line, this red line here, MACD crossed above that. We got a high probability of an upside there. Same thing here. We got a high probability of it move to the upside. But here, when everyone was saying buy the dip, I posted this is not the MACD. Still, we want to see the MACD above that red line there, which it wasn't. And of course, had you bought in there, you would have been disappointed now because you bought at a low probability time, and also the momentum on this weekly is very is the momentum is more to the downside than to the upside. So what we're saying is you had a very low probability of making money on that trade. So that's all we're talking about with charts. It's nothing about predicting where it's going to be. And it's interesting to see the ones that held up during this Luna, for example. Although I expect this to sell off as well, but that's held up extremely well in this when everything else has just been slammed. So that's what I look for as well on my watch list. I'm certainly not going to be buying it at this point, but it would be great to get this if it was to pull back a bit on a discount. It's impossible to say where it could pull back to if it did sell off, but it's certainly the stochastic on the left. We haven't got enough data on the weekly yet to say what to look at the weekly yet, but the stochastic is showing it's overbought. So, and the volume is certainly extremely low. That's all we can look at really on that. So, volume profile is extremely low. So, certainly don't want to be buying it at that point. But it's interesting that it's held up when a lot of other stuff's been smashed, and Matic is also coming back as well. But that held up quite well too. So that's about the only ones that have held up in the whole watch list, pretty much. So Litecoin's been smashed back down. That's good. We can get it at a huge discount. I don't mind buying things at a big discount. I don't know why everyone's got to be chasing it when it's at the record highs. That's stupid. You want to be chasing it when it's at the lows at a discount. I like to buy things at a discount. I don't like paying top dollar for anything. So, that's the whole purpose of a watch list. You can see what you can pick up these coins that everyone's talking about, like Sandbox. You can pick up. Not that one. Sand. You can pick up these. Put these sort of coins on your watch list when everyone's talking about them and it's all hyped and everything. And you can wait for the opportunity to be able to, if you want to, you can pick these up at a discount once everybody's stopped going on about it. Then you can have a look at it. And I like to, as I said, this was too new for me to get in back here, but you could have made some good money on it. But I like to be a bit more mature before I like it to be tested first, have that initial rally and then test back and then see what it does after that. But there's a lot of good ones like Solana that's going to be coming back quite a bit. That was way overbought, for example, there. So you don't want to be obviously going in and buying it right up here, but when it overshoots, it should overshoot to the downside, and you're getting it at quite a discount there, right? So I'm not saying it's going to pull right back, but that's saying it's fair value here, right? So it's still got plenty of room to come back, and so that's the idea of looking at charts. It's not about what people say you're predicting it. Where's it going to be in 12 months? That's nothing to do with it. That's not why you use a watch list or whatever. So just having a look at a few Ethereum. Where's Ethereum? Just have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's held up pretty well, actually, considering it's coming back, but it was way overbought as well. So we just have to see now. By the time this actually, when people should have been looking at it back here, nobody's interested, of course, but then everyone's interested when it's up at the peak, but so that's just human nature, and it will continue to price will continue to find its own value. That's why you can use. People say, "Oh, you can't use charts," but anyway, there's my 10 minutes up. So we'll wrap it up there. Bye for now.